up real quick. Hola, family. The temperature is changing. I can tell in my apartment when it gets warmer. I need to pick all this stuff up and put it back in there. But guess what I'm not about to do right now? Is that I will not be doing that. Throw that right there and call it a day. Hey, y'all. Warming up my water so I can make me some more tea because I felt a lot better, not so jittery after drinking that, and my throat and stuff felt better. Hola, hola. I'm sleepy too, and I don't want to go to sleep just right now, so y'all can talk to me for about 2 hours, and then I'll get off and get in bed. I'm gonna watch something. Hey, Mr. Hardy. My knees, both of them actually are killing me, which is so crazy. But I've been stretching them and stuff, so I know that's the issue. Cause listen, I be so dang tense, but I know it's cause I deal with a lot of craziness all the time. You know, I deal with a lot of craziness. I wanted y'all to hear something. Y'all probably already heard it. I already know they playing with telling people I'm live and whatnot. It is what it is. TikTok, we see you. YouTube, we see you. We see you. Yeah, I told our class was 6 hours and 10 minutes from earlier, Mr. Hardy. Our class we had earlier was 6 hours and 10 minutes. Six. That's almost a whole shift. And then people wonder why I don't want to get off here and look at emails and stuff. I be tired. You heard me talking for 6 straight hours. Even teachers get to quit talking and let the kids do some work and be quiet. I'll be talking for 6 straight hours. That'd be a lot. A whole lot. So I went and ate some of that tuna. I ate the last of it. Well, not tuna, but chicken salad. And it'd be so good. I always like the fresh green onions in it. But I did hear something that I wanted y'all to hear. And tell me what y'all think about it. I couldn't believe you really back on so soon. No, that's why I am, because when I get out tonight, I don't want to be up in the middle of the night. You said I worked 12 hours and I'm tired, so I know you are. Listen, you said I had to work. I almost quit. I went into my corner to listen. Come on. See? God be helping us. He be helping us. He be knowing what we need at the moment that we need it. You hear me? Hi, Keish. Listen. What y'all think about today's class? I'm about to go make my tea real quick. Give me a second. It's probably going to take me about 1 minute at least because I got to mix everything up. Well, actually, I'm just going to put it together and then let it steep. I know if I go to sleep now, I'm going to be up at 2 in the morning. I don't want to do that. You said going up against fake Christians is hard work. I see you be irritated at times, Lord. I've gotten way better. I'm going to pat myself on the back. God has helped me. You said on top of that is mean week. Because, man, listen. Listen. I say this. I'm trying to catch up on some rewatches, but I caught a piece of today's class. It was great as usual. I appreciate it. But hopefully y'all realize that our classes are not to attack anybody, right? They are intended to be thought provoking. You get that, right? Huh? You get that? That our classes are meant to be thought provoking. You might not always have an answer in class. You might have to sit and think about it, and that's what I would prefer. Is that you sit and think about class, think about if it applies to anything in your life. You hear me? You said I wasn't even attacking, just asking questions to what they were saying. But it's all in how you like. Yeah, I get it. I mean, but sometimes they don't know, and even if they don't study it, they don't even have information about where to go find it. Cause there's some stuff that I don't get all the way into, but that don't mean I can't tell you where to go look for it. You hear me? You said they get angry at your questions. Well, maybe just don't ask them no more. Go talk to other people. I don't be trying to talk to people that be trying to argue with me. And I'm not saying you gotta agree, but you at least gotta be open minded enough to listen. That's a waste of my time. I ain't gonna do nothing but leave frustrated. That's why I be asking people when they get in here talking crazy to me. I be like, "Can you leave? You want to siphon some energy? I'm not giving you that. Go away." Now sometimes I will because you didn't caught me on the wrong day. But I try not to even. You see, I be like, that's why I give the face and look away for a minute and come back. Because you got too much time on your hands if all you know how to do is irritate people. That life sucks. I know people that get up and if they can't get under somebody's skin or make somebody mad today, baby, they're not having a good day. They bet not see nobody else smiling and laughing and having a good time. Y'all know the people I'm talking about. Y'all got people like that at work. Y'all got people like that at your job that will see everybody laughing and have a good time in the break room. And they either come in acting like they stressed out or they want to try to tell everybody what they need to be doing when they get back to work. You miserable. And we can all see it. You're not fooling nobody. You as miserable as hell. You said I had to dust my hands on someone. I had to dust my hands on someone close to me because they're argumentative and have a closed mind. I'm trying to tell you. And I'm going to have that same closed mind when all this stuff start popping off because you didn't want to listen. I'm going to just be thinking about what my next move is. I ain't going to be worried about how you didn't want to listen. I got other stuff to do. You hear me? Hey, I got other stuff to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to at all. Especially, I know after watching those movies with your other set of eyes, you really ain't about to be trying to be around nobody that's snaky, funny acting, don't want to listen to the plan. Didn't I tell y'all it's always the person that don't want to listen to the plan to get everybody else caught up? Y'all done watched it in the movie. Hello. Y'all just watched it. If you watched, what's the name? Thief in the Night, Prodigal Planet, any of them, you will see who the weakest link is. And it's always the person that don't want to listen, that don't want to pay attention. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't got no time for that. You ain't about to have me out here stressed out because you want to always go against the grain and do something weird and put everybody else in a position because you silly. No, I don't want to. And that's why right now, like, I be kind of sad sometimes that I don't got nobody around me, but I don't got to worry about nobody being on no weird stuff either because I don't talk to nobody. You hear me? I don't talk to nobody around me. Like I don't my kids and folks is other places. I don't be worried about that. Don't at all. Mm-mm. You hear me? Because I don't want to have to deal with you trying to guilt me into nothing. I don't want to have to deal with you trying to, because I know folks is already doing it. They already doing it. They expect you to sit online with them and tell them everything. No, you should have kept all them texts. What you do? Delete them? Because I got all my texts I sent you. So you had to have deleted them if they not in there. And I ain't about to waste my time trying to go through and tell you what to get. It's a list somewhere. Shoot. Mm-mm. I'm not arguing with nobody going on somewhere. It's too late in the game to be trying to do all that. I promise you it is. Hey Pumpkin, it's too late in the game to be still trying. You said I didn't get a notice that you were on. I know I didn't. Well, y'all didn't even know. Right when what did I tell y'all? I said they playing with the numbers, didn't I? I already know. I told y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. I can tell by the way they was playing with them earlier too. On both of them though. They playing over here and over here. I seen it earlier today. With I listen. That's cause the stuff we be talking about, y'all already know why they do it. That's why ain't nobody getting no notifications or nothing. TikTok and YouTube, we see y'all. We do. It's okay. But that's how you know. You said you did. Okay. Well, you be one of the few. No complaints. It's the weekend trying to catch up with the classes I missed. Thanks for asking. Listen. You said, I happen to find the lie for real. Still no notification for real. I know. I know they don't. You said no notification here. Happened to come across your page. Interesting. Listen, y'all. It's because they know what we do over here. Y'all know that, right? They know what we do over here. They know what this place is. If y'all don't think that the government be paying attention, y'all are crazy. They do. I be feeling you on sometimes. Seriously, no notification. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. They listen. They know what we do over here. Remember, I told you they pay attention that can make people move. They pay attention to the people that can make people move. You said, "Yep, I just seen you was on a while I was on a rewatch." Interesting. You hear me? They pay attention to that. If you can get people moving, and a lot of people, not just talking, moving. They don't care if you talk. It's when you move. And when you can motivate other people to move, they pay attention. Especially large groups of people. Again, they pay attention to the buying trends. I be trying to tell y'all what it is. Since we've been over here, God will tell us what to get, and then there's some kind of emergency or something going on where a lot of people need that, but we just so happen to already have it. Okay. I asked y'all the other day how many people have been training their children in emergency training. Remember, people used to get mad at me because I was like, you need to train your children to be quiet. You need to train them to when you say that, that's it, no talking, no nothing. You need to do this, you need to do that, because when the military is on the streets, they're not going to care about calling your mom and dad. Matter of fact, they ain't even got to tell nobody they got you. Who remembers me having these conversations? And people like, oh, no. I said, okay. What's happening now? Let's see what's happening right now. Let's see. Let's see if y'all see what I see, because we y'all be seeing stuff. Let me see.
So the National Guard in D.C. is carrying rifles now, just walking around like the fucking SS, making sure that nobody steps out of line. Otherwise, poof! You know what I'm saying? And I would just like to say to all the people who are like, hey, Chris Valenti, why are they talking about martial law? Yeah, you're living in it, Jack. You're living in it right now. But the president didn't come out and declare martial law. Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about legality. People are like, hey, Chris Valenti, why are they talking about martial law? Yeah, you're living.
Did we talk about it?
We have major breaking news right now. More than 1,700 members of the National Guard are preparing to mobilize to go to 19 states across the United States of America. According to Fox News' latest reporting, they will be mobilized to help with deportations and to fight crime. When Donald Trump said that D.C. is the first but not the last, he is clearly meaning it. 1,700 members of the United States military will be deployed in 19 states. We don't have any details as far as which states. The timing of the deployment, though, that's over the next several weeks. Right now, there are 2,000 members of the National Guard in Washington, D.C.
During September, the end of August, beginning of September? Did we talked about August and September? Did we talk about August and September? We talked about August and September being crucial months of this year, but we talked about it in December and November and January. Didn't we? In December, we were saying by August, you need to if you've been playing and not getting what you need, to stay in your home, because guess what the people of DC have been doing? They've not been going outside. A lot of the people have chosen to just not go outside. Well, if the army is not leaving and they're deploying, or the National Guard or whatever it is deploying tonight, what you think is we about to see more of? What are they preparing for is what you need to be asking yourself. What do they know is getting ready to happen that they're going to need military on the streets? In places where the crime ain't no different from what it's been. Matter of fact, it's lower. Okay. If you don't see what's happening, then I know for a fact that you're being willfully blind. You said the problem is the late night hanger outers are doing everything. Virginia, I can't agree with you. I can't. It ain't no different from when we was in the streets. I don't know how old you are, but I'm a 90s kid. I mean, I was born in the 80s, but I got in the streets with my friends. We used to be on the same corners. We used to be doing a lot of the same stuff. The crime ain't no different. It was gang shootings. You said you're sorry, but it's true. No, it's not. Absolutely not. It's funny. You know who be out a lot late night in DC? The governors, the people that work in the White House, the people that work in Congress. I know people that lived in DC and they were from the other side of the tracks, but you know who used to be in there? Huh? Most of all, we're tired of them killing each other, their own people. Oh, Virginia, you're white? Oh, you're a white person, Virginia? You have to be, honey. But you know what's crazy? You know what's even crazier? White on white crime. You know what? You know what? You know what's even crazier? How many pedophiles y'all got? How many people y'all like that like kids? How many people's blood that y'all drink? And flesh that y'all eat? And lands that y'all take? Hello? What we not gonna do is project. Just go away. Your life is miserable. That's why you won't even show your face. Go away. Go crawl back into the hole that you were in, honey, the cave. Go on. You need something? You want me to give you a piece of bloody meat or anything? Or I know that comforts you all because you're bloodthirsty. It's a piece of home cooking for you with no salt or pepper or nothing. The Bible say, get the thing out of your eye before you try to accuse somebody else. Sorry to my white cousins. Y'all know I love y'all, but they come in here and see the thing is, they give themselves away every time. We don't be bothering nobody. Go on over there and eat a deer that ain't been cooked. You know, that type thing. I don't know. From what I heard, animals eat raw meat, but we just gonna keep on moving. With no seasoning. They don't need no fire or nothing. Anybody else? Now, what was we talking about? The military being on the streets. So, y'all remember us talking about getting everything that we needed for the time when they were? Getting yourself prepared to only go where you need to go and come home. Huh? buying everything you need so when the chaos starts, you don't have to be out in the mess. I don't think it's a coincidence that the bubonic plague is back, because we didn't seen it a couple times already this year, have we not? And I think some last year too in Cali, like at the end of the year, in the beginning of the year. So they making it. They're telling you about one case. So if they telling you about one case, it's probably been 100 already. They only gonna tell you about the worst cases. So understanding not having to be out all the time in everybody's face, touching everything, and see, y'all thought I was crazy, but I kept telling y'all, no, it's too much. I won't be doing no big crowds of people. I won't be doing none of that, because guess what? Who remembers me asking y'all to watch? It was down in Atlanta. What was it called? They was in Atlanta. Well, we just watched it with the monkeys. Outbreak. Was it Outbreak? It was Outbreak, right? When they went over to Africa and came back, it was Outbreak. Now, did y'all see what happened? Um,
Roughly 600 CDC employees have just received permanent layoff notices, many from departments most critical to preventing violence and ensuring public transparency. This comes just days after the fatal shooting at the agency's Atlanta headquarters, making the timing even more alarming. Among those cut are nearly 100 workers from the Division of Violence Prevention. These aren't just desk jobs. These teams were responsible for tracking global violence, researching child abuse, SA, and teen dating violence, and developing prevention programs. Also included in the layoffs, staff from the Freedom of Information Act office, which ensures that the CDC remains transparent and accountable to the public. Other affected departments include those handling equal employment opportunity and public records compliance. These functions are foundational to civil rights protections and institutional trust, and now they're being gutted. So, as a reminder of why this is happening, the CDC is complying with a federal court order tied to a lawsuit from former employees of the COVID-era temporary hiring surge.
that being said, they don't gotta. They making it to where they not gonna have to tell you nothing. Now they doing that stuff with the violence and stuff and whatever else. Okay, so what if there is a bloodborne, or is it called a bloodborne pathogen? Is that what you call it? You said in those monkeys that broke out, they never said they found them. Okay. Is it called a bloodborne pathogen? So say there's violence in the streets, and just so happened that a bloodborne pathogen is going around, and the CDC can't say please don't have any contact with blood because blase skip wooty wati wop. They firing the people in records. So if 100 people come in with a certain thing and they're not keeping records of it, it could spread through. Do y'all remember this happening in 2019, 2020? 5 years later, the same thing is happening. The military showed up on the streets, was telling people when and where they could go places in 2020. Not in 21, but definitely in 2020. People were locked in their homes, told to stand how far apart from each other, had to get scanned to go in their job. And if you wouldn't let them take your temperature, boop, boop, then you couldn't work. If you had a high temperature, boop, you had to go home. And I told y'all they was getting y'all used to getting your forehead scanned. Did I not? I said they was just getting people used to get their forehead scanned. I told folks that in 2020 when they started saying, when my ex-husband told me, I said, what? I said, they getting y'all ready to get y'all forehead scanned. And ain't that what they was running that thing across? At first, some was doing them out, but so that it didn't, they was taking that thing across your forehead. You said they still do it at your grandbaby daycare? Okay. And look at where we get now 5 years later. There's this idea that they want people to get. I think it's interesting. I think it's very, 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 very interesting. And now we have the National Guard being deployed to 19 states, excuse me. You said my job stopped doing it in October of 2023. Interesting. It's about to come back.
The judge ruled.
Mm-hmm. Hey, they started dumbing down the population as early as 2008, and an uneducated population will not resist. I agree. You said, yeah, I remember them not allowing to travel across state borders. We talked about that. Yep. 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 So just get ready for all the movies we watch to come to be real, because it's happening.
It's about to get 10 times worse. I'm sorry. If you shop at Walmart, your experience is about to get 10 times worse. I'm sorry. Basically, they're switching all their lights, their fluorescents, to 10,000 Kelvin. Now, you may not know what that means. 10,000 is the coolest, bluest artificial light that we have. It's not natural. It's not in the natural light spectrum. It's terrible. When we're in 10,000 Kelvin light, it makes us anxious. It literally puts us into fight or flight mode, triggering the amygdala. So when you're in fight or flight mode, you can't make rational decisions because all decisions in your brain are made with the amygdala, which is the fight or flight, fear, all that part of the brain. This is on purpose and intentional because if you can't make rational decisions, then A, you're going to be a very fast shopper because you're anxious and your body is screaming at you to get out of whatever unnatural space that is that has the 10,000 Kelvin lights. And then two, it means you're going to overspend because you're not going to be logically making purchases. You're just going to grab things because your heart rate's going to be increased. You're not making good decisions. So basically, if you didn't like going to Walmart before, you're really not going to like it now. I feel bad for the employees who have to work in the 10,000 Kelvin lighting all day with their body screaming at them to escape whatever this is, and they cannot. If you shop at
What y'all think about that? They are getting ready to create the chaos. Remember I said you're not going to want to be in the stores because it's going to be chaotic? You're not going to want to have to be in the stores. So think about this. The tariffs are here. People are not going to be able to order as much food, and businesses are not going to be able to get their stuff. So couple that with lack of, okay? You hear me? Okay. Lack of food. So now you have this light that is going to make you anxious, irritable, in a fight or flight syndrome, and then you're going to put people in here with less things to buy. What you think? You think that's a recipe for complete chaos? Y'all remember how people was acting when stuff would come in during 2020? Okay. So you're going to change the lighting that already makes them anxious, irritable, and has them not making good decisions. Good night. And then you have them in a place where everybody is thinking this might be the last of it. I don't know when we're going to get it. You said I was at home ordering, refused to step foot in the stores. I get it. But some people had to go. Do you see how this is being... Everything is planned. Listen. When people understand that warfare is weather as well, they will understand all of what is going on around here. Because since man, however you say, has learned to control the weather, they use it as a weapon. And that's why God didn't want us to have control over stuff like that. This is why controlling the elements is going to get you thrown under the darkest places. Because God created the elements. Who are you to use them to hurt people? You can create a tsunami. You can create a hurricane. You can create these things. And you use them for devastation. And people say, oh, they can't do it. Which has been able to control the elements. What are you talking about? What is the avatar? Who can pull dirt up, call the rains, bring clouds to stop the sun? Which has been able to control the elements. That's what they use for magic. Like, what are y'all talking about? Do y'all even be listening to yourself? They just high ranking. Hello? Folks just be saying stuff. Which has been able to control the weather for a long time. You said that's what caused the flood in Texas. Clouds. Exactly. I know. They're using it as warfare. They've been doing it for years. Way longer than we think. Hello. Think about a town, right, where everybody do witchcraft except for a few people. If magic costs not only you, but those around you, and the whole town does some type of magic, could that be why something like the bubonic plague shows up? It's crazy it keeps showing up in Cali because it's a lot of witches out there. I mean, it's more witchcraft there than it is in a lot of places around the world. Hello, if we're going to talk about it. So many rituals and this and that and this and that under them hills, honey. So it's crazy that a lot of this stuff to be hitting there first. Hello. You hear me? You said Mexico has a lot too. No, I'm not saying it's the only place, because there's places, whatever. I'm just saying for blatant witchcraft. Okay? Blatant witchcraft. They don't even care. They don't even try to hide it. At least the other cultures try to hide it under religion or something. They don't try to hide nothing. It is blatant, and Hollywood teaches the world how to be. That's why we got Bollywood and all of these other wood. Well, why does it got to be called that? Why couldn't you just come up with something pictures? Why does it have to be very similar to Hollywood? Hollywood controls the world, do they not? They control what people see, how people act, how people dress, how people. Hollywood. Hollywood. Okay? Literally. They literally are the city of fallen angels. The reason that don't sound so far to me is because I read the book of Lamech of Cain, and they had another city that they ran. And everything that be going on in Hollywood and Cali in the hills was going on when the fallen angels was running a place over in ancient Mesopotamia. Exact same city, the same stuff going on. You hear me? You said Maku. What is it? Makuthea? What does that mean? You just type in random stuff? Give me a definition, honey. What is it? Hello. You don't just type a word. But we need definitions over here. Thank you. I appreciate you. What does it mean? You didn't type it twice. Okay. Another name for his kingdom? Say his kingdom. Y'all be doing too much. Break it down, okay? Thank you. I appreciate you. Listen, of course. Here they go with that BS. Y'all. When I say people be mad, y'all already know who it was. It was that person that came in there. They be on that weird stuff. On that weird stuff every single time. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Yep. You already know. It was that white woman that came in my class. Mm-hmm. And that CDC stuff. Listen, they already know. We ain't gonna worry about it. I'll be right back. They be upset like we don't got other social media. They be mad. If y'all notice, every time that we get blocked from over there, it's something we didn't say it. Every time. It be the truth. Y'all know that, right? You said Hollywood says Moses is the prince of Egypt, but in the book of Jasher it says he was the king of Cush. You do realize that Egypt had a lot of different names, right? Egypt is just its most recent name. Kemet, it's had a lot of different names. That's not the only one it had. You know that, right? Huh? The book of Jasher was written way before the land of Egypt. I mean, as far as like, it wasn't called, they call it Egypt in our Bible, but it wasn't called that before. It had a lot of other names. Because you got to think, every time that somebody took over a place, they changed the name. Just like they did the Gulf of America. Been changing stuff forever. They act. That's how they act like they discovered it, because they just changed the name from what it's always been, and unalive all the people, and then they call it something else. Ain't nothing changed. Same way they be knocking the nose off of the thing so you don't know they news. Mm-hmm. I'll tell y'all what is happening now is making me think about uh, the movie where I get my TikTok name from. Um, the last Dan Brown movie that we watched, with them getting ready to unload this sickness that's gonna kill a certain percentage of the world. What was it called? It ain't Angels and Demons. It's the other one. I can't think of what it's called right now. But that, and that's probably why they got me for misinformation, talking about the CDC. But this is literally what y'all doing. These is other people's posts, which is crazy. But think about this: if they do plan to use a certain specific people to unleash something into the communities, the easiest way to do it is a pinprick during an arrest. Is it not? It's the easiest way to do it. Walking down the street, prick somebody, boom. They thinking you pinched them or something, scratched them. Whole time you just unleashed a deadly biochemical weapon or bio weapon into the population. It takes one time, especially if this person is out and about, literally. Because why else would y'all do that? We've been talking about all this stuff and now it's misinformation. I understand. If y'all haven't noticed, we be having random conversations, and all of our random conversations turn into news. We was talking about the military being in the streets a couple of years ago, they kept blocking me. When we was talking about the economy crashing, they would block me. When we talked about the food famine that was coming, they blocked me. When we talked about them working with Russia, they would block me. Hello, but all of our random classes where we're just having random conversation end up being the news. Keeps happening. So I wouldn't be surprised if here shortly they do keep proving us right, Miss Moore, and that's why they be blocking me and hiding me. What? Why else? If none of this stuff is true, with all of the misinformation on the internet and all of the incorrect things that are said on the internet every single day, why is it that when we talk about stuff, we get flagged for misinformation? But it don't be misinformation because it just ain't happened yet, but it's about to. It's about to happen. And we know that because we'll get this kind of stuff, and then as soon as we get back off or whatever, it being happen while we blocked off live. Or getting ready to happen in that same week. I want to say when we was talking about the floods coming, I might have got blocked off of TikTok, and then the floods start happening. I mean, look, when we was talking about getting, I know that I think right before I went to go see my daughter on October 22, we had a week thing when we was telling everybody to get these. And they blocked us, and I kept saying, we need to buy them before everybody else buy them. And then the president bought them. But I want to say they blocked me for false information on that. But we was right because we bought them, and then you couldn't get none because the president bought them all. Mr. Biden. And they was hard to get for like 2 months. So potassium iodide. It helps protect your thyroid just in case they put some kind of chemical gas in the air, radiation, stuff like that. So mind you, whenever they do that, they block me for misinformation. But whatever it is that we be talking about, it be about to happen. And that's crazy because I want to say, like, when we talked about food shortage and all these different things, you said, yep, I was one of those that had to wait until that November. Are you serious? You said, well, the evidence speaks for itself. Stay prayed up, family. I'm trying to tell you. So, and he ordered them in like late August, early September, and you had to wait all the way till November to get them. What if something would have happened in between that time and that time? God has not led us like in the wrong way one time. And I'm grateful for that. Because while the world is rocked to sleep with headlines and everything else, it's lit. You said you ordered 5 bottles. Come on. Who remembers when we first started this? I used to say, hey, when they start putting this kind of stuff in your face, you need to look this way. And I used to say that a lot, and people used to be like, whatever. And I said, no, I'm trying to tell you. Anytime they put any hip hop news up, any this or that, you need to go look at the government and you need to go look at the international climate and see what they're doing. Right? I said that for real, the first year that I was here. The second and third year, when the Diddy thing came out, when all of that, people started paying attention that they're like, wait a minute, but this also happened in the Senate today. This also happened in this today. This also, and I started telling y'all. You said, Circa, what if it's in your class, so he followed your instructions? Who? The president? No. I doubt that. But do I think that the people in government was watching? Yes, I do. You know how I know they was watching? Because buying trends, y'all. I know y'all don't believe me, but I'm telling you, they pay attention to buying trends. And y'all got to think, y'all would be on TikTok or YouTube too with me. Y'all would have y'all Amazon open. So you got, we'll say 5,000 people in 5 minutes all around the world buying the exact same product. Then I wait 20 minutes and mention another product. And what happens? It sells out. The Amazon in Mexico, the Amazon in this place, the Amazon in that place. They're paying attention. You hear me? You cannot have, especially when everything was new, in 1 week, 50,000 people going and buy gas masks and the government don't pay attention. You can't. And they're buying a survival book and 2 boxes of water straws. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they paying attention because everything that we were buying was showing that we knew what was coming before they did it. So then they started not letting y'all leave real reviews. They started not letting y'all buy certain stuff. They'll tell y'all they have it, they don't have it. Or it started being all the weird stuff where people couldn't get their stuff. Remember? Interpol and all them people pay attention to that. All of them. They do. So for the first 6 months, it's maybe millions of people spending a nice chunk of money on survival lights, on solar power generators, on all of these different things. And it's not like, oh, okay, it's everybody in America. No, it was people all over the world doing this. Not only that, our YouTubes were being translated into other countries. You know what I'm saying? Into their, they had a whatever, they subtitles. So it was people in other countries. Because remember, I used to take screenshots of all the countries that was watching. It was mind blowing to me. You see what I mean? So all of these things, that's why I used to tell y'all, they been over here. Because again, when you can motivate, the people don't care about you getting on the internet talking crazy. But when you can have people take the money out of their pocket and buy things with it, the government pays attention to that. I'm telling you. Why do you think they always changing rules on how you can buy, what you can buy, all of this old stuff? Hello, all of these different things, right? I'm telling you, like when Elijah Muhammad or all of them folks started telling black people to buy land, they started making it harder for black people to buy houses. When they start, I mean, if you look and see what be going on, okay? Because if I know I plan to take advantage of you or put you in a hard situation, I definitely don't want you going to buy something that is going to make that hard for me to do. I wasn't asking people to go buy stupid shoes. Not saying shoes are stupid, but you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not asking you to go buy no clothes. I'm not asking you to go buy no trinkets that is not going to help you. You know what I mean? I'm asking you to buy tents, all of the stuff that if you had to live off grid, you could do it. They paying attention. I'm telling you. They are paying attention. And get this. I wasn't selling it to you. We started a little thing and I said, I really don't want to do it. And I said, well, I put together a couple and I said, look, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do it. I didn't want to do it in the first place. I was like, I just want to teach. And everybody's like, can you put a list together? I put a list together. Well, oh, yeah, this ain't going to work. I don't have time for this. Okay. I don't want to sell nothing. I don't want to. I did it because y'all was like, we need it all together. Okay. So I tried, but I don't want to. I don't want to sell nothing. Okay. So they know what we make on YouTube. They know. So you got to understand. They pay attention. If the CIA made social media, you don't think they pay attention to the people that's on it? You don't think they pay attention to? You got to think. There's people that take barn poop and other things and put them together because they're angry at a certain group and go leave it on their doorstep in a pretty box. So they pay attention when people are in these parasocial groups. It's like an experiment. They're going to pay attention to what you buy, what you go look at while you're on that website, while you're listening. They're going to look up what words you look up. They're going to look up the places you look up. They are paying attention to all of that. So just think, if we got 4,000 people in our class, because they be playing with our numbers, because when I get off, it be showing me how many people really be in the classes. If we got 4,000 people in the class, whether they come in and are actually in our class or are watching from the background, you said social media is just like Sandy, this part. But I'm saying the CIA and all these people, right? All of the alphabet folks, if they are running a social experiment, you don't think they're paying attention to the people who people listen to? You don't think if a person can get people to go buy survival stuff and they know that they were planning Project 2025, And they know, okay, we can get people to buy clothes. Okay, this person can get these people to buy makeup. But this lady over here, not only is she having them get books, she is having them get survival stuff. Hold on, wait a minute. No, 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 no. Not only do she got them, listen now, buying survival stuff and books, now they're not taking their medications. Now everybody in the house ain't get, wait a minute, because you got to think, they give us a lot of stuff to keep us sedated and halfway asleep and not in our right mind, so that we're passive, we are easily controlled. You hear me? When children stop getting in trouble at school, that's one less person that's going to jail. Because remember, they said school to jail pipeline, school to prison pipeline, right? So think about how many kids have started to read more and study more and understand more in the last 3 years, instead of just sounding silly and running through here not learning nothing. All young, I ain't gonna say all, but it's a lot of young kids that even if they is out in the streets, or they are out in the streets, they're doing something different with their time. Whether it be trying to get into the Israelite thing, or the Black Panther thing. Even the YNs is teaching Black history and stuff. They're on here teaching about the slave migrations, and they're looking up science, and they're looking into being an ether being and what that takes. Not saying that it wasn't happening before, but when there is a explosion of people being interested in information, and the leaders have been used to everybody walking around like they live in the movie, what is it, They Live? Hello. Because you all even can say right now, you can see that people are walking in the They Live movie. No, people are buying whatever everybody else is saying to buy, not thinking about what is going to be important, what is wise. Is this, it's just like they said, they got that light, that blue light, and people just make impulse buys. They're not even getting it for a reason. They don't ever open it, they don't ever use it, and it's not useful things. It's just spending money. So over here, folks, they started making wiser purchases. There was a lot of things that happened that wasn't just our group. Even if people came over here, got information, and they took it and they used it for their own, then that's even more people that are living wiser. People started making food from scratch. Young folks that always wanted to be catered, now they cooking at home. We got this at home, we got that at home. Like, people started making bread. All of these different things that before it was about the what is it, the opulence and the grandeur of being served all these exquisite, and people's like, we could do it at home. We can make that at home. You can make your own soup, you can make your own this, get a garden, da 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 da. And I'm not saying it wasn't going on prior to me. I know that it was, but I know what I see now compared to, I've been on the internet, just not TikTok, that long, but I've seen all the trends. I've been on other social media. You see what I'm saying? And the quest for knowledge has blown up compared to people just wanting to be entertained. I think that is the switch that flipped. It's not that we still don't want to be entertained, but if I'm gonna be watching something, it needs to be teaching me something and not just make me laugh and kind of pass the time. You see what I'm saying? If you look on the internet now, like, most people are about giving info. There's still some drama-filled people that want whatever, but it's a lot more people on the internet that's looking for information, like real information, getting down to the bottom, not just taking the surface stuff. They are investing in themselves. It's different. And I'm not saying that's just because of what we do here, but there has been a flip. Because prior to, people came to the internet to get away, to get lost. I have a feeling God used us to make knowledge cool again. and they can't take that away from it. Mati ta keep what we did away from us. Mati, they can't take it away from us. We made learning cool again. We made learning and digging and being sleuths into everything else. I don't care. We made it cool. Free university. We made it cool. We get to take credit for that. God did it, but He used us to do it, and I'm excited about it. When y'all was getting online talking about, I just bought my new books. Oh my goodness, and this and that. Listen, y'all had to post videos about y'all new books, not just on TikTok. Not y'all was posting them everywhere about your libraries you building, and that spread from fake books to people actually having more real books in their house. Everybody was buying those fake books, or the backdrops that made it look like, but the whole time it's just empty cartons, ain't even no books in there. Now people really got real books in their house, a lot of them, not just for them, for their kids, for their grandkids. And I'm not saying people didn't read before that, but y'all know for a fact, since we got these, book sales were on a decline. Actual books, people will buy ebooks. They'll buy it in, or audiobook or ebook, but people had started, that's how I know, because I was getting the books for cheap, because people stopped reading them, and so they sending them to the Goodwill, they sending them to all the, you know, bargain shops and all of this place, and I'm going in there and grabbing them for pennies on the dollar, because this was more important than having this. Think about it. Back in the day, this was TV. Hello. But before there was picture screens, this was TV. This is how you escape. This is how you saw another place. This is how you watched another person's life through their eyes. Was this. This has been replaced with this. Parents used to read kids stories at night. Now they give them a tablet and let them watch their favorite YouTube show. Hello. They'll put on a learning show for their kid, but it's not them reading no book. You said, am I the only one that view other people's bookcases wondering what books they have? Right. But think about it. People didn't used to have, I'm trying to tell you. That's the first thing I look at when I go to a person's house, is if they have any books in their house. Like if I'm able to go through all the rooms and you show me around, I'm looking for books. Because the books in your house gonna tell me like what you think about. Like I got homegirls, every book on their shelf was nothing but them ones. Y'all know the ones I'm talking about. The whole shelf. I don't care if it's floor to ceiling, they got 2-3 shelves. It might be one self-help book. It's gonna be a relationship book. And maybe a Bible. Not well used. And all the rest of the books on their shelf was gonna be, we used to call them smut books. That's what it's gonna be. At least she read it. So I know where your mind at home, girl. I know what be going on, right? You said you need to get a Kindle. I mean, you can, but I would be trying to find the PDFs of the books and print them out. That's gonna be a better deal. Because if they turn the internet off, do your Kindle work? You said I had kid books. You said on Z books at one point in time. Okay. I'm just saying, think about it. When you look at a person, like if they do have books in their house, you'll know if they're interested in science. You'll know if they're interested in religious studies. You'll know if they're interested, money. They'll have books on finance. It could be how to start a business for dummies. It could be all of that kind of stuff. But you're going to know where a person's mind is by the books that they have. Especially if, now it's a little bit different for me because y'all send me what y'all want to have, but it is still all in the line of what we read, so it makes sense. But if you ever want to know where, like, look at their bookshelf. Look at their bookshelf. And it's going to tell you all the things that they think about for the most part. Because people normally, if they're book people, they're going to buy books either about the subjects that they want to learn about, things that they already know about, or Well, that's it. Things that they want to know about or things that they plan on learning. I mean, it could be history and things like that too, but for the most part, you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to tell. And that's why I say, like, it makes me excited seeing young people want to read again and study and learn and go deep. Old people too, and go deeper because, as y'all can see, just talking to a lot of people, you realize if somebody else is not talking about it, they don't know about it. If it's not on social media or the news, they don't know about it. And it's like they're not going to look outside of what they always see to find anything different. You said mine is full of history, psychology, and biblical books. Exactly. What else y'all got? Who want to tell us what's on their shelf? What's on your shelf? So that's what Whitney got on hers. Whitney Lee. What y'all got on? Washida, what you got on your shelf? If you do have a bookshelf, what's mainly on it? And be honest. Don't lie. Like if you got some of them one books, you know the books I'm talking about. The love books that Fabio used to be on the front of them. But they got the black ones, the Spanish ones. They got the like the telenovela line. You said, yep, true. I have a lot of spiritual books and things I need to learn or want to know and things that you know about already. Okay. What else y'all got? Let me see. What else is over there? You got Christian books. Okay. What else? Gardening. What you got? Building. Finances. What you got over there? I'm looking at the time, y'all, because I told y'all I'm be going to bed at about 9 o'clock. What y'all got? Homesteading. That's a good one. Is y'all having to go look and see what all is over there? You said biblical history, psychology, science, Christian writers, and food. Okay. Very diverse. Home remedies. Okay. Okay. I'm seeing something. Everybody go. You said an autonomy. Okay. Herbs and plants. Okay. All right. See how diverse our learnings, the things that we want to learn or know and all of that old good stuff. We gonna see what all everybody got. We got home remedies, herbs, autonomy, biblical history, psychology, science, Christian writers and food, homesteading, more Christian, spiritual books and things you want to know, psychology, biblical books, and history. What else we got? Magic and mythology, old encyclopedias, time life books, history, cookbooks, and DIY. I'm excited about it because y'all probably just been buying books and books and books. Do y'all ever just go back and look and see what you got on there? When's the last time you got on your thing on your shelf and opened every book? Law library, old cookbooks, biblical history, young adults such as Twilight, Harry Potter, Bibles, homesteading, and home remedies. Ooh, come on. And astrology, interesting. This makes me happy. You said kids books. Gotta keep some kids books if you got kids around. You got to keep some. I got some kids books here too. Gotta keep some kid books. Because when my grandkids come in here, I do not want them thinking they can touch nothing in here. So I keep my coloring books and stuff that they might actually be able to touch out of this room and on my shelf in my room. That way you don't have no reason to touch grandma nothing in here. Don't even think about it. You are not allowed. No. Oh, what you? Uh oh. Ooh, you got gardening, apothecary, herbal remedies, Christian history, Spanish, ASL, cookbooks, autobiographies from ex-witches, spiritual warfare, ooh, prayer books, books for children for various ages, adventure novels, and my Old Testament supergraph for ancient practices. Good job. I have books everywhere, half of a 10 by 10 storage unit. I need those before the rodents get them. Uh-huh. You said I would be really sad if my don't. Why are you gonna speak that? Oh no, I get it. I just want to know what's on your shelf. I haven't had a chance to read all these books either. Now I had read most of them before I met y'all, but not all of these. But I feel like we might have a lot of time in the house shortly, so we ain't gonna have to worry. We're gonna probably be able to crack all of them open. You hear me? You got books. Listen. I feel like you got to think once they turn the internet off, I feel like we'll get back to a lot of reading. Y'all don't think so? You ain't gonna have no choice. If you can't leave your house, just say if it gets to a point where you can't leave your house and you get tired of just sitting in front of the TV. You said lots of Latin books. Okay, think of what you gonna do. You said that's why I'm buying now. I'm trying to tell you. Mm-hmm. Because you know they gonna play with this internet. That's why they making us have to give our IDs and all of that stuff. They gonna be able to turn it off if they want to. Well, we already got stuff for that. Cause we ain't about to go crazy. No, I haven't. Not that I remember. You're gonna read and paint. Come on. Just got back to the Dead Sea Scrolls and Jasher. Listen. This is my thing, right? I always be seeing people in the movies have like cabin fever. I don't want that. I just saw the strangest news article about how our phones are going away and it's getting planted in our hands. It won't be implanted in mine. Now, some people gonna take them. I won't. I don't need this phone. I lived in a time where we didn't have no cell phones, so I'm just gonna be going back to the 90s. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was 18. I lived 18 years, 19 years without a cell phone, honey. It might take me about, long as I got music, I'll be all right. Your experience is about to get. You said you were 20, yeah, yeah. And we didn't have a whole bunch of time on the phone because you had other people in your house. You had to share phone time. You had to be productive and do other stuff. You said you were 16, so yeah. Mm-mm. Now, the people that probably don't have the hardest time is the people that have always had devices like these younger kids. As long as I got some music and books, I'll be all right. And I got my PlayStation, so, and I got the disc. So if I want to watch some TV or something, and I got my portable DVD player, so, you said gonna have to dust off my cup string phone. That part. It will. This, yeah, this. And they can go for a long way if you make them right. We used to make ours go all the way across the field. Listen, long as that string is in there right, you'll be able to hear. And we'll. But until then, we got these. And as kids, these were our first cell phones when we was gonna be out and about and away from folks. They wouldn't buy no 5-year-old no cell phone, but you can get you some walkie talkies that you better get you some batteries to with your birthday money. Now, I'm gonna buy this first round of batteries for Christmas. But when your birthday come, you better be taking your money and asking your grandpa if you can go over there and cut some grass or something so you can get you some batteries. You said same. I have my games on my laptop. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, listen. You said yep, music and books will keep me entertained. I'm trying to tell you. I ain't forgot these was the first cell phones. The church, literally, and had one of them too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We still got them. Why you missing them when we still got them? They right here. This is the chirp phone right here. Chirp, chirp. We still got them. Why is you? We still got them. We still got them. We still got them. Just because it went away don't mean it ain't still working. We still got chirps, and I preferably, yeah, yeah, we got them. Come on, we ain't gotta quit. But see, I'm gonna be. For those that have been here for a while, we gonna give the people the names Wenda and Sandy. Okay, and I'm sorry, but when we used to talk about all these years, we can say all these years now. Come on, all these years, we've been talking about the people that we had to be careful talking in here because they with us, but they'll be telling the people where we at type stuff. And so y'all used to be kind of looking at me like I was being mean or whatever, but now you all understand. We had some Wendy's, some Wendas, and some Sandys in here, and we might still. So this is why when everybody was like, "Well, where are we gonna meet afterwards?" Well, you could be a Wenda or a Sandy. I don't know. First, we gonna have to figure out is you a Wenda or a Sandy before you get any of the information. Excuse me. You remember we talked about those people using your family to say, they're hungry or whatever, so you're gonna go and try to give them food, and it's a whole setup for them people to come get you. Y'all remember this? I literally gave a scenario like that, and then we watched those movies, and that's exactly what happened. That lady, Wenda, trying to go and give that man food, set them up. Mm-mm. No. If you need to go and be there, we won't be here when you get back. We gonna be moved around by the time you go meet them. You said they meeting you halfway. How far is that? Oh, okay. All right. Seeing as how we didn't try to talk you out of it, we'll be in packed up camp and move somewhere else, and you'll be in send them over there, and we'll be left as soon as you leave out. We on our way out of here. We're moving around. Mm-mm. You said I'm gonna be using this on everybody around me. Listen, it's just scary to think about, especially the people that didn't hear nothing you had to say, and now stuff is happening, and they're seeing it, and they wasted their money. They didn't try to learn how to garden, buy no seeds, like nothing. They didn't try to do nothing. You said, and most likely they won't even know who I'm talking about. Listen, be in the same house telling people, telling the other person go outside and did, because it's making that old weird noise because they too close together. Thinking that going under the bed and you being in the hallway in the bathroom is far enough. They say I like to say there was always a nigga. You said with the nigga. It's always a nigga with a nigga. And the nigga with the nigga is always a nigga we don't need to see. I'll be right back. It is always a nigga with a nigga. I'm trying to tell you. I don't want to meet your nigga. No. Uh oh. Listen. Spiritual essence. You gotta be careful typing in P word, okay? You gotta use medicine or something else, because that kind of that creates keywords when you say that. Okay. That's why I just said potassium iodine and I didn't say the P word. Those because you got to think little kids be doing stuff online and all that old stuff. Not just kids, young people be selling stuff online. So some of that stuff be keywords. Yeah. Listen. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I was wanting to show y'all. I'm sure it is.
Worse. I'm sorry.
Um, oh,
America is heading into a major recession. I spent the last 3 days talking to my contacts all over the world, including my contacts from Washington when I worked in the Bush administration years ago. And I have some friends at Social Security, pretty high up in Social Security administration, and there's a lot of concerns what's going on with them. People are going to start missing checks, Social Security checks. So I just want to put this out as a warning to my friends, especially my entrepreneurial friends, my younger friends around the world that are not big on following economic trends and what's going on around the world and the impact it has on us financially. I just want to say you're not going to hear this probably from the government because consumer spending is what controls 70% of the economy. And if the government comes out and warns against recession.
did you hear that? Did you hear that?
America is heading into a major recession. Facts all over the world, including my contacts in Washington when I worked in the Bush administration years ago. And I have some friends at Social Security, pretty high up in Social Security administration, and there's a lot of concerns what's going on with them. People are going to start missing checks, Social Security checks. So I just want to put this out as a warning to my friends, especially my entrepreneurial friends, my younger friends around the world that are not big on following economic trends and what's going on around the world and the impact it has on us financially. I just want to say you're not going to hear this probably from the government because consumer spending is what controls 70% of the economy.
What was I just telling y'all a few minutes ago about they pay attention to the buying trends? Wasn't I just telling y'all that? I said they pay attention to what people are buying, and they pay attention to who is telling them to buy that, especially if they are not telling them to buy it. We just talked about that, right? Or no? Literally, I told y'all they pay attention because our money is what makes the economy go around. So they're gonna find out what you're spending money on. That is a thing. Economics, right? Look,
the government comes out and warns against recession, more people will tighten up, and consumer confidence goes down, which actually can be a major cause of the recession. So my point is this: please hold on to your money. I'll tell you what rich people are doing all over the country. 70% of the economy, and if the government comes out and warns against recession, more people will tighten up, and consumer confidence goes down, which actually can be a major cause of the recession. So my point is this: please hold on to your money. I'll tell you what rich people are doing all over.
where have you heard that? Was there somebody telling you to do that 3 years ago? To quit wasting your money and buy smart? Don't blow your money on crazy stuff, on silly stuff, on stupid stuff, on crab boils and crazy vacations. Hold on to your money, and if you're not gonna hold on to it, do something good with it. Don't buy expensive stuff, buy valuable stuff. Okay.
The country, they're holding back. They're selling their stocks. If you have stock, I would say hold. I'm not a big fan of flipping back and forth as the market goes up and down, but we are living in uncertain times, and markets hate uncertainty, which is why you saw the stock market, just dive last week. I think we're gonna have another terrible week in the market.
Did we talk about the stock market and I told y'all it ain't really what it is? They've been lying to y'all and inflating it and letting everybody buy all these stocks. How long I've been telling y'all that since 2022.
No one really knows. I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm just trying to communicate this to especially people who don't follow economic trends as much. Maybe in some of the political things that are happening. What's going on in Washington is terrifying the world. We had offices at one time in 10 countries around the world. I'm in constant communication with my friends in all those countries, even though we don't operate there anymore. Since I semi-retired. But what they're telling me is the world is blocking us out. The free world is blocking us out. You can see what's happening with Canada. They're pulling American products. The bottom line, I won't get into a whole discussion about this, but the bottom line is please, please, please hold on to your money. This is not a time to buy new cars, buy new anything. Please hold on to your money. Be conservative. It is about to get bumpy in America in terms of economics. We've got an administration in Washington that's not a political post, but that doesn't know what they're doing clearly, and they're imposing tariffs on friendly countries and all the rest of it, and that's what's causing the uncertainty in the markets, and it's not going to stop. They are going to keep doing this. I can almost promise you again, I don't have a crystal ball. Please hold on to your money. They don't care about you. They don't care about me either, okay? But when you've got money, it's different, okay? If you've got a bunch of money, hold on to it. If you have almost no money, which most people, that's mostly the case with people, hold on to your money. Stop spending money. Stop buying things. Okay, because you're going to need all the cash you can get. Now, if you're an older person in America.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you think he's telling them to do that? Huh? Why? Because he knows there's not going to be money is going to be scarce. Items are going to be scarce. He said America's blocking us out. So they're not taking American products. So America's not going to be making money any more money exporting anything. Right? We got a lot of stuff in international trade. We're not going to have those things. So if you haven't already purchased it, okay, you're going to really, really need it and not be able to get it. This is why God told us 3 years ago, for almost 4 years ago now. And think about this. People blew all that money from 2020 until now. Whatever money they blew and spent it trying to impress people, they are going to regret it this year going forward. Because they did not buy smart. They smart. They bought flashy things and things that didn't matter. They didn't think about the future. They didn't think about 2020 and how it turned out and what was going on with that. They didn't think about it.
And you're on Social Security, prepare for the checks to stop coming. I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that. Prepare for delays in checks, okay? Because they're gutting the Social Security Administration, and they can't continue it. The experts are telling us every single day, what Trump is doing and what his administration is doing is going to eventually stop the checks. It's going to interrupt the flow. So if you're paying your rent on your Social Security check or anything else, your food, please be prepared. It's coming. The storm is coming. The government's not going to tell you this, again, because they don't want to scare you into doing exactly what I'm suggesting you do, which is hold on to your money, okay? Please, prepare yourself.
Did we talk about them not telling you they just gonna let it happen, and if you don't prepare, it's gonna be on you? Huh? I said the government is not gonna feed you. They're not gonna be worried about if you and your family eat or not. And this time, it's not going to be like during COVID where they upped your money. It won't be any. Tell me we didn't talk about that in 2022 and tell me it ain't happening right now. So the people that was wise over your little bit that God gave you, guess what? If these things start happening, you already got food stored up. Hell, if you only can eat a can of green beans a day, you got it. You got flour, seasonings. See what he said? If this is how you pay your rent and get your food, what did we say in the beginning of this? All of us, listen. If nothing else, I'm going to have my food. You said they will barely give out ration bars. Okay. We seen what they did to the people in North Carolina and all these other places where they was giving them MREs to eat. Couple little waters. They wasn't even full bottles. They did 5-6 ounce waters, whatever. Okay.
For economic turbulence. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to try to use too much hyperbole. I think it's worse than that. It's coming. Okay? When you try to play just America first and you practice protectionism, which means it's just about us. We're the only country in the world. Everyone else can go screw themselves. We don't care about anybody. America first. We sound like a 12-year-old, okay? It is a 12-year-old philosophy. The bottom line is we live in a globalized economy. It doesn't work. The whole free world is shutting us off. You guys, we're a really rich country. We can't afford for the entire free world to stop buying from us, and they're going to. They're starting it now because they no longer trust us. We cannot be trusted. And if you're watching this from another country, another free country, okay, every country basically, outside of Iran and Russia and China and, and some of the other ones that are not free countries, that are not our friends, if you're in a free country and you're watching this, please don't ever trust us. As long as Trump is at the helm, never trust.
Do you think that God was preparing you for right now? Now he used to work for the government, this man. And he's telling y'all what God had me telling y'all for 3 years, which is they're not going to tell you until it's too late. So if you don't have anything, you and your family will be without anything. It is going to be that, and they're not going to care. Okay. God told us before he got his sources from, God told us 3.5 years early. Good evening. He told us 3.5 years early. Now what everybody is saying, God been telling us for almost 4 years come February. Listen, I keep telling y'all, I do not want to wait for the news to have to tell me because by that time it's going to be too late. Hey, Pumpkin. You hear me? How is it that every single thing this man was saying, we talked about in 2022? Hey, y'all. Y'all want to hear this? Maybe y'all already heard it, but I think I'm not going to play that last part, but listen.
America is heading into a major recession. I spent the last 3 days talking to my contacts all over the world, including my contacts from Washington when I worked in the Bush administration years ago. And people, I have some friends at Social Security, pretty high up in Social Security administration, and there's a lot of concerns what's going on with them. People are going to start missing checks, Social Security checks. So I just want to put this out as a warning to my friends, especially my entrepreneurial friends, my younger friends around the world that are not big on following economic trends and what's going on around the world and the impact it has on us financially. I just want to say, you're not going to hear this probably from the government because consumer spending is what controls 70% of the economy. And if the government comes out and warns against recession, more people will tighten up and consumer confidence goes down, which actually can be a major cause of the recession. So my point is this, please hold on to your money. I'll tell you what rich people are doing all over the country. They're holding back. They're selling their stocks. If you have stock, I would say hold. I'm not a big fan of flipping back and forth as the market goes up and down, but we are living in uncertain times, and markets hate uncertainty, which is why you saw the stock market, just dive last week. I think we're going to have another terrible week in the market. We'll see. No one really knows. I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm just...
I begs people to get their stocks out. Hey, and to buy what they needed, to take their 401ks out, all of that stuff. Because they about to play with these people money. They been playing with their money. You hear me? He trying to be nice and say we going into a recession. We're in a depression already. We've been in a depression for a minute already, and they know it, but they not going to say nothing about it. But they know. It's just sad that they're not going to warn the people. You hear me? It's sad because they're not going to warn nobody. Because they want people to be caught off guard. And that's why they keep blocking me from all of my social media. Because the plan is to keep people desperate. Think about it. Because everything that we teach make sure that people would be ready for what's coming. But the people that are keeping people distracted from what's coming, they don't block them. Makes perfect sense to me. Perfect sense. Which is crazy. I told y'all they be trying to figure out how we know. I don't care what nobody say. They be trying to figure out how we know. And now it's time for us to find out who the Sandys and Windas are. I don't know the man's name, but this was posted on 8665 GJWT. This isn't the man's page. Yeah, people get mad all the time. And it was either that or the lady that came on my stuff. One of the two. I don't know. hmm But if you notice, anytime we're talking about events that are getting ready to come up, they start messing with how many people can find me on live, my notifications, and now again they're doing it on both. This was the reason we had went to Instagram, and then they was tripping on Instagram a little bit, and then we went to fan base. Everywhere we done went, now they playing with our website. So yeah. hmm But that's how I got over to TikTok, because they used to be playing on all my other social media. I got blocked over there too for sharing all the same stuff. So they just don't be wanting people to wake up before they want them to wake up. They want you to wake up while you already in a damn camp. That's what they want. And it's sad. Is Discord or Telegram an option? I don't want no more social media. After these social medias go, that's probably gonna be it. We gonna have to find. I don't know. I'm not about to keep fighting with these social media people. I didn't had. I don't want to keep hopping places. I'm tired of it. Really. I am. It's been almost 4 years. I mean, I'm not saying that we'll hopefully be and found something else as far as like another way. Maybe what is that called? I don't want to use Zoom, but we might have to use some type of other just meeting ground thing. Because Zoom, I don't really want to use that, but something like Zoom or something, which is going to drive me crazy, and I got to be able to silence all of the craziness. But listen, see, we talked about that, and we've talked about that several times, but again, it's kind of hard to do that when you don't know who you're buying with. I've been talking to God about it for 3 years because I would love to do that. I actually just don't want one space. I would like to have 5 or 6 around the United States, right? For our communities. But it's so scary because we're meeting on the internet. We don't really know who all we're inviting. Because I guarantee you it's some Sandys and Windas over here, for real. Winda, whatever her name was. I know. But it's scary because what if we invite the devil right into our camps? You see what I'm saying? And that's the scary thing about not being able to meet everybody in person. You kind of get a feel for people. He said my job uses teleconference. What's that? Oh, teleconference. Oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? So it's scary because it's not like we meet in the same church, so I can like look y'all in y'all face and get a feel for y'all. Not that I don't feel y'all spirit anyway, but y'all think I had y'all go watch that movie for just kicks? If God do bless us with some places, I'm gonna need y'all to look out for the Sandys, the Windas, and the Dianes and Jerrys. Do you understand? Everybody is gonna have to keep their eyes open. If God blesses us with a camp for the Jerrys, the Dianas, the Sandys, and the Windas. Cause Winda didn't listen when the people was like, I don't trust it. Quit inviting people to our camp. And remember, I said, y'all be and invited one of your family members to the camp. You hear me? Because it's your cousin and you done bought some property, so you feel like you can bring them here. I don't give a damn. This is the community. And they wasn't part of the community. Do you understand me? They wasn't listening when you was telling them. So now everybody else, because we don't even know if they just doing this now because stuff is scarce somewhere else. They could be coming in and be a whole part of the peoples. Mm-mm. And now you didn't put everybody at risk because you don't know how to tell your cousin no. Yeah. I feel like this. You said that's why I don't want to live with my own father. You said, "Ooh, child, I have some family members I cannot invite." Period. Rashida, I'm telling you, it's not that I don't forget. Excuse me, but listen here. If you will try to get over on me, and it's like this, and stuff ain't even got bad yet, I don't care what nobody say. I know you will try to get over on me when stuff is real crazy. And people thought I was being mean, but in, in the space that we're going into now, you're not going to be able to deal with a know-it-all. I don't want a know-it-all nowhere around me. And what I mean by that is you won't even listen to reason to people that know more about the issue than you because you feel like you have to be right. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know nothing about hiking for real. So if there's a person that used to hike all the time, like my mom, she hikes mountains and stuff. So I would listen to my mother if she was telling me about hiking because I know her, my son, my brother, they used to go hike in the mountains. Now, not climbing, rock climbing, but they would run the mountains, different trails every day. Well, they know where the snakes be. They know where this is. They know the best time to run when there's not a lot of people on the mountain. They know which mountains give you this. You know, if you trying to do cardio, da 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 da, they got the, they know all of that. So then I would talk to somebody that has that information. You see what I'm saying? But to it, like, okay. How our class is put together is how I would want our community to be. Everybody gets to bring what they know to the table to help the community. It's not only one person knows stuff. I learn from y'all every single day. You see what I'm saying? We learn something from kids, adults, old people, white, black, yellow, green, Spanish, everybody. You see what I mean? And that's why I feel like our community would thrive. Exactly. We got people that's been in the military. We got teachers. We got fire people. We got electricians. We got people that do HVAC. We got people that dig holes for a living. We got people that work at the ports. We got people that work in hospitals. We got people that work in mortuaries. We got people from all walks of life. Welders. You see what I'm saying? We got people that's welders. We got all kinds of people, truck drivers, you name it, mechanics, hairstylists, people that's going for biochemistry. We got all kind of people. You said I can sew, not well, but I can sew. That's all that matters. You'll get better the more you do it. You see what I mean? We have people that went to school for agriculture. We have a very diverse community. And I'm sure that if God blessed us to be in one space, that our community would thrive. Because first of all, we got lawyers. Come on. We got lawyers. Come on, folks with PhDs and all kinds of stuff. Hey, clock it. We used to have a astrophysicist that used to tune in to class, but I don't know what happened. You said not sure what help I would be, but I would damn try. What do you mean? What do you mean? Legal representation is always needed. We need you to read through all of the contracts. What you mean? Definitely need that. You said cleaners, cooks, builders. We got everything. 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 You said my location is by invitation only, period. This part. But you understand now why you said laugh out loud with farming and sewing. I'm out. Hilarious. Hilarious. Listen, this my thing. I'm not, again, I've been a manager, right? Supervisor, whatever you want to call it. And instead of forcing people into a role that they hated, I asked them what they were good at first. I asked them what they like to do. So then I'm not putting the wrong person in a position that they're going to screw up because they don't want to do it. Most people get a kick out of forcing somebody into a position that they don't want to be in, where they messing with your money and your time, because you're going to have to keep telling them because they're not listening, because they're not interested. There's all these different things. So if I know you good at this, why not? I mean, now, unless you want to learn something else, but if you're good at this, I'm going to put you where you good at. That means you can do it in your sleep. You said you are definitely a leader and a teacher. I wish you had, I had you as a teacher, not only in school, but life. Oh, Pumpkin, I appreciate that. I really do. This the thing, though. It's not a power kick over here for me. And that be the problem with a lot of leaders and a lot of supervisors, managers, CEOs. They use the power that God gave them as a whip to hurt people, to abuse people. I'm telling you, I didn't work at jobs where I did not have any position, but I could get the people moving faster than head management. I'm talking about all the way up to the whoever. They not being productive. I would get with my group when I was in collections, all of that. Manager can't get nobody to do nothing. I'm like, y'all, come on, we got a wooty why. It don't matter what job, because he said you are beyond wise beyond your years and a blessing. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, and I appreciate that. You hear me? I do. And it's all God given, whether through life experience or just actually trying to understand. But you know, if you an attorney, most people don't listen to understand. If you're an instructor or teacher, most people, they don't listen to understand. They listen to respond. So you got to keep, I'm not about to keep repeating myself, so I'm going to take the longest time to explain it. Because I don't want to have to say this no more. I don't want to have, that's why I don't care about our classes being 6 hours. We can go through this as slow as you need to, because I don't want to have to say it no more. So I'm going to take my time. We will stay on this one word for 27 minutes until I know you get it. And then we'll move on to something else. I'm not about to do that, because that's frustrating. Most people want to train people very quickly. Well, then you're going to have to deal with them for a long time. No, I'm about to sit here with you. Don't think I'm hovering over you. I want to know that you know. If you don't feel comfortable, please ask me a question. That way, when I leave you, the next time I leave you, I don't got to come back. Unless it's just something you really don't know, I don't have to be back over here. It's going to make my job easier. You hear me? Trying to get every bit of clarity, because I hate going through circles. This part. Think about this. You said try to get to the main information. This part. So think about this. As a leader, right? Let's just do church, because I think most people have gone to church in their life or been a part of a church community, right? Most people. A religious community. It might not be church, tabernacle, synagogue, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Tent meeting. Do you think that so many people would have to be back and forth in pastor's office with the same sins if he actually sat down or she actually sat down and took the time to explain the sins, to explain being trapped by the enemy, to have people learn their own patterns, so that they can, first of all, you got to know what your weaknesses are. And most people don't. They just see it as a part of them. This is how I always been. Everybody, okay. But you need to understand that that's a weakness. And then that weakness opens the door, okay, for the devil to come in, which causes, right, this issue. But if I can teach you that this is a weakness, if you could see it as a weakness and not just a part of your character, then you don't feel forced to go ahead with the sin even when you're presented with it. It don't matter how far you get into it, you'll be like, no, I have a choice. And God said he'll make a way out, and this is my way out. Whatever it is, I don't want to do it. That changes, right, the trajectory of your future. When you start to understand yourself, the closer that you get to God, you will see the things that he doesn't like, and then you'll think about the things that happen in your life, and you realize, oh, this is the result of this. But it didn't start here. It actually started when I allowed this. So if I don't allow this, this doesn't happen, and the ending cannot be this. Does that make sense? It starts here. The thought, right? And then making the commitment with your mouth. Yes, I'm going to do it. No, I'm not. And then the action. Okay? Because verbal contracts are they are legal and binding depending on the situation. Right? Verbal contracts, you can be held liable, or you know what I'm saying, to a verbal contract is a real thing. You tell somebody, especially if they recorded it, you saying such and such and such and such, yeah, you can be taken to court over a verbal contract. Doesn't matter if it's written. If they have it recorded, proving that you said it, proving that you admitted to it or whatever else, that's it. So if the devil can get you to think it, which is writing up the contract, and then get you to commit to it, which is you saying, yes, I'm going to do it, or no, I'm not going to follow the law, or whatever else it is, then he already knows the outcome of the situation once you verbally said what you're going to do. And then your body starts to move towards that action. Period. So you got to think about, if I can teach you what the problem is, then maybe we can stop having a problem. But most people only want to give bits and pieces and have you figure it out. And then they act frustrated when you have to keep asking them, well, that means you didn't explain it the first time the right way, or the second time, or the third time. Evidently, you didn't give me the information I needed, or else I wouldn't have to come back and ask you nothing. Don't get mad at me because you didn't do your job. And that's what it boils down to, even in the church. If pastors would take their time and just get on one thing and not running for 10 weeks, but instead of doing all that other stuff on Sunday when they know people are paying attention, let that be the class day. And let Tuesday be the day that y'all jump and shout and do all of that. But if Sunday is your biggest audience, don't you think that that would be the day that you would try to explain the most? Instead of a time when there are less people? Because Tuesdays is relaxed, or Thursdays or Wednesdays, whatever day you go to Bible study, it don't be like on Sunday. So why not have praise and worship and all of that midweek and actually have the class where people learn on Sunday? Sadly, folks want to be leaders but don't know how to lead. Listen, I know. I'm just saying, if that's your biggest audience, you would think that you would want to get more word out than anything. But that's just me. That is just me. So I'm not going to keep y'all. I told you I was going to talk to y'all at 9 o'clock. I did good. 9:06. So I'll probably see y'all in the morning. We'll see. I'm sure I will, but well, I ain't going to say I'm sure, because the Lord could come get me in the middle of the night. I ain't going to say that. But Lord's willing, as the old people used to say. I'll see y'all later. I might color and watch some Law and Order, see if they got any new seasons or something. I ain't checked to see, so I ain't watched that in a minute. See what Olivia and them is doing, and go see Elliot, see what he doing over there in this show. I ain't been over there to their house for a minute. I ain't been to the Law and Order house for a minute. I need to go over there and see what they talking about. You're welcome. I love y'all. We'll see what we cook up for tomorrow. I'll probably give y'all a break. Seeing as how y'all beat downs these week they've been kind of rough. Class has been a little rough, a little tough. It was like a sparring match. That makes me excited. I love y'all. Sleep well. Make sure y'all say y'all prayers. Okay? And sleep good. Tomorrow's Saturday, ain't it? Sleep good. My baby will be 23 on Monday. Girl, we've been on here for almost 3 hours. You said, and that's what, oh, thank you. You said knots on my head. You okay? It's all right. They go down. It's all right. We was sparring and stuff. Look at y'all teacher thinking she was grown. Y'all see her. Y'all see y'all teacher? That's when I first met y'all. I didn't know y'all, so I had to put that other girl away. Y'all had to put that other girl away. You said, they go down. They do. Just put some ice. My mom used to put a potato on it when you had a lump on your head. Get you a potato and slice it. You don't need the whole thing. Get you a sock. Don't get a color sock. You need a white sock. And get you one of them white socks. And you could put a few potatoes, just move them around. See if you cut them flat. You ain't got to worry about them moving under your sock. Okay? And that should take some of the swelling down from the foo-fops y'all got earlier. And from this week. Take you a alcohol bath and then soak in some Epsom salt. Drink you a little aloe vera water or something so you get hydrated for tomorrow's sparring match. Get yourself we getting conditioned. So you said socks without rocks. Got it. Right. Right. Don't put no rocks in the sock. No. Just a long white sock. Slice your potatoes and put them on there. And it'll draw that swelling out. You said done, and baking soda and magnesium flakes. This part. Ooh. I forget they on the side of my tub all the time. Probably gonna do that this evening. Cause tomorrow's Saturday too. Y'all need to get up early. Maybe I might gonna do that. That sounds like a good idea. I think I might cook me some sausages and make me a fried egg. Baby, I don't even need the Epsom salt. If I put that magnesium in there, baby, I might wake up with a little cramp in my neck. We gonna see. You done made me smell. Ooh, I'm about to put some of them magnesium flakes in my bath. That sounds so good. I forgot I be having them. Baby, I'm about to be sleep. You hear me? Love y'all. Bye. I might put on my Law and Order while I'm in the tub so that way I can soak for the whole about 20 minutes. I'm going to cook my sausages and my egg first. That's what I'm going to do. And make me a waffle. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eat first. And then I'm going to take my bath so that way I don't got to get up because I'm mad because I done got all sleepy and then I'm hungry. Yeah. And I got blueberry waffles. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right. Love y'all. Bye. Thank you, because I'm sure about to do that. Happy Sabbath to you, too. That's about to be good. Love y'all. Bye.